What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday Night Football Breakdown Preview, whatever you want to call it. I am Christian Hardy, at By Hardy on Twitter, with Adi Narang, at Really Adi on Twitter. We are from LocksDFS.com. You can see our website right here. You can't see the full website because I made the thing a little bit smaller than it's supposed to be. But this is our website. We have full breakdowns of all slates right here, main slates, all the showdown slates. We'll have written breakdowns as well as our lock sheets. That goes with locks and cash games. And player grades, cash, basically like our tiers in terms of cash, UVP, etc., value plays. That will be included in the All Sports Pass. You can also get a season pass for $99, but All Sports Pass also comes with my college football breakdowns, and then we're doing NBA preseason every day right now. I'm also in the Slack talking about all the injuries and stuff that's going on throughout NBA, which is really a ton of fun. Like NBA preseason cash games have been really I'm 3 for 3 so far on them. I missed a few days in the middle there, but it's been a lot of fun so far with the NBA preseason. It's definitely a lot of work. Like, it really is a lot of work, but definitely a lot of fun. It's been pretty good for members so far, for the most part. So, yeah, check us out, LocksDFS.com. That is our lone sponsor, is ourselves. Adi, ready to get into this exciting game, exciting slate?
Let's do it. Let me announce that winner, though.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Well, tell them about the giveaway real quick first.
Yeah, so as you guys know, we run the same giveaway every week. All you got to do is leave a like, leave a comment, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, and then you can win a free season pass of your choice. Well, I guess you could choose NBA if you wanted to, but everyone's been choosing NFL. But now the NBA season's here, you can definitely choose that. But yeah, so we announced last week's winner. He's already he DM'd us like the day of or the next day. We got him in the Slack chat. So he's part of the team now, and the next winner is going to be Richard Holland. Left a comment underneath Addy's action this week saying, "Love this content. Keep up the great work. Thanks." Just very simple. That's all you really got to leave is a comment like that. Or if Christian or I ask for who your favorite GPP play, favorite cash game play, it doesn't have to be a compliment is basically what I'm trying to say. But that's basically what I'm trying to say. But this is this week's winner. So Richard Holland, go ahead, DM us on Twitter at LocksDFS, and we'll get you set up with a free pass of your choice, man.
All right. Do you have the totals off the top of this? Do you have them up?
Yeah, I got him up. So the Giants are – well, first off, this game opened at 46.5.
Yeah.
And it's since dropped – or I guess it opened at 46, and it's since dropped to 40.5. A lot of that is due to the weather, which we'll get into. But another little bit is definitely due to the Giants ruling out Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, and Saquon Barkley, which we'll get into as well. But the Patriots team total opened 30.75, has since been knocked down to 28.75. And the Giants opened up at 15.25 and have dropped down to 11.75. 75% of bets on the Patriots. They moved from minus 15.5 to minus 17.
Cool. I was pretty much – I mean, there's so many injuries, and usually we will tend to go over them at the beginning of the video on these showdowns. Usually this year, we honestly haven't had that many injuries to go over at the beginning of these videos. When I'm thinking about Thursday night videos, there haven't been very many. But today there are a bunch. We do have two questions. Let's just go in order of how they are listed on DraftKings. Two questionables at the top, and Julian Edelman and Gordon. I believe they were limited on Tuesday. They're both listed as questionable, but they're both fully expected to play. Saquon Barkley is going to be ruled out. Evan Ingram, like Adi said, out. Shepard is out. Wayne Gallman for the Giants, the number 2 running back, is out.
I didn't even mention him. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, so they are going to be I think John Hilliman. Yep, that is his first name. I wasn't exactly sure. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know that they had a Hilliman, but that I didn't know for sure. Anyway, Philip Dorsett was ruled out today, and we'll talk about that. That has some impact on the Patriots pass game, which obviously we're going to want some access to. Rex Burkhead is the most notable injury that we are going to have to keep tabs on come tomorrow pregame. Obviously, we're going to be looking at how Gordon and Edelman are performing in pregame, but there is really no concern about them playing. Burkhead missed on Sunday. Obviously, we're on a 4-day rest here, so we don't really know if Burkhead's going to be healthy, if he's even going to be suiting up. Last week, and we'll get to talking a little bit more about this, but we saw Sonny Michel run a season high in passing routes, like 20 or 21, which was very, very encouraging for him. Without Burkhead. So we saw him have also a season high in snaps as well. So if Burkhead's going to be out, it's going to be mostly just James White and Sonny Michel in the backfield. whereas usually it's like a three-headed kind of beast kind of thing. And real quick, just since we are already on the injuries, I will talk more about the other replacements behind just Burkhead. Philip Dorsett is going to be out. So the third wide receiver for the Patriots is going to be rookie Jacoby Myers right here. He's 4.8K on DraftKings. I'm not positive on a snap rate. If you want to pull that up, Adi, what he played last week. But I think he played around 50% of the snaps last week. They already priced him up, which makes him less interesting in cash. But he is an interesting tournament play because to get access to the Patriots. And we can talk about, you don't have to pull up the snaps, right? We can talk about him more later. Obviously talking about Wayne Gallman. Hilliman will probably be the lead back with there is going to be Elijah Penny as kind of a short yardage kind of back behind him. If there's a guy who's going to catch passes in the backfield, it should be Hilliman, but neither is too encouraging. With Sterling Shepard out and with Evan Ingram out, we're going to see three wides be Golden Tate in the slot for the most part. Obviously, he's gonna be on the field in two wides too. But Golden Tate, Darius Slayton he's also a rookie from Auburn, and we are going to have. Why am I forgetting? Oh, yeah, Cody Latimer, who is only 800 on DraftKings. And also with Ingram out, starting tight end for the Giants is going to be $200 Rhett Ellison. I'm going to switch to the regular pricing here. Rhett Ellison for 200, who is the only other Giants tight end who's run pass routes this year. He should be near, full snap share as tight end one on this team. Of course, he's not going to replace Evan Ingram in terms of talent, but I do think he will replace Evan Ingram in terms of role. Obviously, they're going to need some help on the offensive line in this game. So, me and I were just talking about it before this. It's like he probably is going to have to stay in line and block a decent amount against this Patriots team that has wreaked havoc on its opponents so far. I believe they lead the league in sacks. So he might be called into block, and he's a good blocker. So we might not see a really high volume of routes, especially if the Giants can't move the ball and they don't get a lot of plays off. But certainly at 200 with a guy who's going to play almost every snap. He's someone that you're considering in cash, and so is Cody Latimer with the starting role locked down. Adi, can you get me real quick, since we're still on the injuries and want to talk about these guys, Latimer's snap share last week? Oh, wait, but last week isn't going to be totally accurate in terms of this week, but do you have Cody Latimer's and do you have Jacoby Myers?
Yeah, so Jacoby Myers was in just under 50% of the snaps. The Patriots went pretty heavy two tight end in that game with Izzo and Lacoste, which was probably going to end up going in this game as well, just because there's not going to be much need to run a lot of three wide receiver sets in this anticipated game script with them up by a lot. Cody Latimer snap count, let's see.
I'm trying to remember who was out for them last week. Sterling was out last week, but Evan was not. Is that pretty much that right?
No, Sterling Shepard played in week 5. He got ruled. He had 10.
Okay, he got the concussion last week. Okay.
Yeah, he got the concussion last week. I'm seeing 46% from Evan Ingram. From Cody Latimer.
Okay.
Let me double check that.
I expect Latimer to pretty much be on the field most of the time in the game.
46%.
But what did Shepard play before he left? He had 10 targets, so he must have played most of the game.
Yeah, I think he played most of the game. I think he's sustained that right at the end.
Okay.
But yeah, Cody Latimer is definitely the guy who's going to see more snaps in his absence. Golden Tate is going to get moved to the slot, where he could definitely see almost double. Or I guess he is the squeaky wheel narrative this week, asking for more targets. We saw Adam Thielen, the squeaky wheel narrative of last week, have a big game. And there's really no reason not to throw the ball to Golden Tate as many times as you could. So we could see him double his target share, get up to, the 12 target range, easily double digits with the lack of talent on this team and their projected game script with them trailing. But Cody Latimer definitely makes a lot of sense because you should anticipate quite a lot of three wide receiver sets. I could see Rhett Ellison staying in the block a lot in this matchup. He is primarily a blocking tight end, so that is his primary role. And then they do have a pretty bad left tackle. And obviously, as Christian mentioned, the Patriots defense has just been wreaking havoc as far as QB pressure goes. So they're definitely going to need some help to protect Daniel Jones. So I could see Rhett Ellison being on the field for almost 100% of the snaps, but blocking on quite a few of those, despite it being a run or pass play. So I definitely think those three wide receivers make a lot of sense as value plays for the Giants. But man, this of all showdowns that we've done so far, this one just seems like Pat's onslaught is like, I don't like. I know you got to – I mean, if you're making multiple teams, you got to account for all types of game scripts, like even a Giants winning game script, even a shootout game script. But, man, if you're playing cash, I don't know how you can't envision this game script just being a total domination by the Patriots. Like, 17 points seems fairly generous here.
Yeah, let's get the Giants just out of the way real quick. Let's just talk about them so we can focus on the Patriots.
Yeah, sure.
For me, the only Giants that I am interested in at all, which I guess it's still most of them except for the running backs. The running backs, they're too priced up for me to be interested in. I guess also not too interested in Darius Slayton at this price either. Daniel Jones is very priced down. Of course, like Adi said, their team total is like 11.75, I think. So, and he's also going to have to deal with a lot of pressure. He hasn't run quite as much as he did in that week 1, but still some rushing upside as well. But, I mean, he's in play for me. It's pretty much like deciding in a lot of my builds if you're going to go with like a Josh Gordon or something like that, or Julian Edelman, or do you want to play the Giants quarterback? And I find myself mostly going to New England pass catchers in that scenario. I just don't know how well the Giants are going to move the ball in this spot unless you're thinking about it in terms of GPPs. Golden Tate is, like Adi said, it should, squeaky wheel narrative. He also is going to mostly dodge Devin McCourty and Jesus Christ, Stephon Gilmore in the slot. So, of course, he's still going to see those guys occasionally because I'm sure he'll play outside a decent amount. They're not going to run 3 wide on every play, but and you also still have a pretty tough matchup with the New England defense in general, as seen by the team total, and it's also going to be raining. I'm also not sure how well they're able to move the ball, rainy, windy, etc. But Tate is my favorite Giants receiver, even as the most expensive. But when you can get a guy down here for 800 who's going to play almost the same amount of snaps as Golden Tate, it makes the equation a little bit different because, you're basically getting a free spot here where it allows you to pay up at every other spot on your roster when you have Cody Latimer, as well as Rhett Ellison. So let's start here with Cody Latimer and Rhett Ellison. I don't know if either of us have made our final decisions in terms of obviously I think both of us are going to be landing on, in a lot of our builds, one of these two guys. What's your opinion on them right now?
I'm Latimer over Rhett Ellison, just more of a playmaker, higher upside. I think Ellison's going to be blocking a lot of the time. And so I think as far as like New York Giants wide receivers go, I like Latimer. I think probably is my favorite point per dollar receiver. Golden Tate, my favorite overall. But I think it makes a lot of sense to go Latimer, Golden Tate, and then Darius Slayton point per dollar wise, which obviously makes Darius Slayton a pretty exciting GPP play, especially if you're betting on talent. I mean, this guy's definitely a talented wide receiver. He's a burner, runs like a 4.3 40, caught a touchdown last week. But big news in this game is that wind, it's looking like 18 to 20 mile per hour sustained winds with gusts up to 35 miles an hour, which if that impacts anything, it's going to be the deep passing game and kickers. So that's definitely where Slayton, he's got the highest ADOT on the Giants. It's definitely where he's going to be impacted the most. So I think I'll go Latimer point per dollar wise. I like Latimer over Ellison personally. I hope I don't have to make a decision with that $600 because I think it's I don't think it's that close. Latimer over Rhett Ellison for me.
Yeah, I definitely can see that as well. I think that we're going to see Latimer run more routes than Ellison, and that alone should make him a little bit more interesting. I guess you can say the Latimer has a little bit of a tougher matchup, even though Latimer is definitely a bit talent deficient. We have Rhett Ellison, who also doesn't have an easy matchup. He's going to be matched up with like Patrick Chung, like really athletic linebackers. Like, is he out?
I think he's questionable.
Okay.
He could be out. He might be out.
I mean, regardless, Bill Belichick always has schemed well for tight ends. Obviously, I guess if Rhett Ellison is a tight end, maybe he's not as prepared. But I mean, these Patriots defense have always been pretty shut down against tight ends, especially this year. Okay, yeah, and I'm not totally set on going against Daniel Jones in cash, but it's just like that team total is so low. Like
Yeah.
It makes it tough for me to get a guy like that. I think I'd rather, if I'm gonna pay up for a Giants guy, probably just go with Golden Tate, who I think I can probably tab for like 8 targets, probably like 4 or 5 catches. Like, he honestly, I think Golden Tate is a better bet for 10 points than Daniel Jones. But
yeah, in the PPR league, sure. Because
right.
Daniel Jones, to get there, he's going to need to throw at least 1 touchdown, and these guys are projected to score less than 2. So it doesn't really leave a lot of upside. But
that's my thing with Jones, is that they're projected for basically a touchdown and a field goal. So like that it's going to take him a lot of passing yards to get to meet value here at 8K.
A touchdown or a field goal, or just 4 field goals, three and a half field goals. It doesn't have to be a touchdown there.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting, with this all being said, the fact that you'll probably see the lowest ownership of a quarterback you'll see in a showdown slate ever.
Quite possibly. Yeah. Quite possibly. Yeah.
He's going to, and he's underpriced for a starting quarterback. I mean, you never see starting quarterbacks at 8K. So if you're sort of making this, if you're sort of taking a bigger picture to this showdown, as far as, okay, play the quarterbacks, play the guys who are going to touch the ball the most, whose expected fantasy points output should be higher than most based on their touches. A guy like Daniel Jones is probably going to – there's a pretty good chance he comes in sub 50, maybe even sub like 40, 30, in between 30 and 40% in cash. Like, maybe – is that generous? Like, that's low.
I think that it'll be between 40 and 50.
Yeah, that's low for a quarterback on a showdown slate. I mean, so he makes sense as a GPP guy, especially because, you can't play 6 Patriots in your lineup. If you have to play a Giant, hey, Danny Dimes, he scores a rushing touchdown or something like that. That's all it takes. They get to the 1-5-yard line, QB sneak from the 1.
If they get to the 1, it could definitely be him right now, because they don't have Saquon and they don't have Goldman. So
why not? I mean, it's either him or a guy like – let me turn this on.
John Hilliman.
It's either him or Elijah Penny might be active. He might be the goal line back. Who really knows? But Daniel Jones has as good a shot at running in a touchdown as either one of these running backs do.
For sure. I'm interested to see where I see people land tomorrow on him.
Sure.
Like Daddy said, he is very cheap, of course. So that's definitely going to put him in play. But the team total is 11.75. So it's like,
it's not great, but you kind of just have to ignore that and hope for the guaranteed touches that are going to be there. I mean, if Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones is 8K, and if he throws the ball 40 plus times, he's not a bad play. He's not a bad play on expected fantasy points alone. He's just not if he throws the ball 40 plus times at 8K, which he will. So,
yeah,
it's not. It might be sick to watch. Might not be fun to watch, but he could definitely get there.
Okay, can you hear me? It just said it switched my mics. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. Yeah, it keeps telling me that too, that it's switching my mic.
I don't know what's going on with that. Okay. Yeah. New England. We can focus on New England now. We've moved on from the Giants.
We spent way too long.
And there is a lot to talk about on this New England team. So, first of all, Tom Brady, play him. Just play him.
Yeah.
Play him. All right, cool. I don't really.
Important note on Tom Brady, even though no one's not playing him, this is just an important takeaway for the future in Patriots games, is that when the Patriots get up a lot, even in positive game script, they don't really throw the ball any less. Like Tom Brady, they won 33-7 last week. Tom Brady threw the ball 42 times. So if Rex Burkhead is out, Bill Belichick is much more – he'll use short passes as an extension of the run game. Even if he is trying to bleed the clock, short passes to James White, which is important to note in the slate because James White is certainly in play. Short passes to Sony Michel, short passes to Julian Edelman. These are all extensions of the run game outside of just handing the ball off to a running back, which is kind of, if you don't have a Rex Burkhead back there, then there's really no need to do that many times. Obviously Sony Michel handled his fair share of touches, but this is important to note in the future as well. If the Patriots are expected to, smash a team, Tom Brady's still probably going to throw the ball close to 40 times.
Yeah, that's why people talked about him last week against the Redskins being a play that people could play in cash, was just because maybe you should just take the 300 yards. And I don't know if he threw for 300, but yeah, he did. Maybe you should just take the 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Obviously, because Deshaun Watson and other guys went off last week, it wasn't the best play. But like it value-wise, it was a fine play still. He put up 28
So,
fantasy points. He did what he was expected to do, So, yeah, like, it's the same thing here. Like, just take it. Just take the 300, probably 3, at least 2, unless something crazy happens. So, okay, we can move on from that. That's Tom Brady. Edelman and Gordon. Do you want to talk about these guys in terms of air yards over this year? Because that is probably a little bit interesting. I think here's my thing about I have a take right now that I think I need to click on the right thing here. I think that I prefer straight up Josh Gordon to Julian Edelman on in this game. And it sounds a little bit crazy, but the Giants just have terrible boundary corners. And I think that Josh Gordon, as talented as he is just going to, like, eat against these guys. And I guess Edelman has that same type of matchup. It's not like they have a good slot corner. But, man, I just think that Gordon – the one concern about Gordon – I just clicked the wrong team. The one concern about Gordon for me is the win in the rain. But still, ADOT is only 2 yards more than Julian Edelman. That's actually something I was waiting to pull this up for, was to see what his ADOT was and see how I think the win will affect that. I mean, he's running all types of routes. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about that take?
I don't mind it, especially considering ownership. It'll probably be fairly high on both these guys.
I think they'll both be somewhat similar.
In PPR, people view Edelman and just assume more targets, but these guys are even in targets over the last 3 weeks. They both received 26 targets. Josh Gordon, over that same time span, leads them in air yards with just over 200 air yards in that time span. But it's over 240 air yards, I should say. But it's an awesome spot. Obviously, we know boundary receivers versus the Giants are just always going to be a good play. Gordon did pop in Josh Hermsmeyer's air yards by low model, which is important to note. But there's also, it's also a total nut matchup for Julian Edelman as well. In the sense that, opponents have like a close to an 80% completion rate when targeting the slot versus the Giants, like over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Julian Edelman runs like 70% of his routes from the slot. So I definitely like him. And if the Patriots do end up using the pass as an extension of the run to close out the game, then Julian Edelman will still be involved in quite a few of those. So, you can't go wrong with either one of these guys. I do think it's closer between Gordon and Edelman as far as upside go than people think. But as far as safety goes, with the weather concerns and all that, Edelman's definitely the safer of the two options, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Speaking of safe, Sonny Michel. Obviously, like I said, Rex Burkhead could take some snaps from him, but last week he played I don't know what percent of snaps he played, but he played a season high in snaps. I think it was around 70.
No, it was lower than that. It was like 50% or something.
Was it?
Yeah, he did have he had a season high in snaps, season high in touches as well. What do you have? 21 touches last week. So that's, that's good. But yeah, I think he was like 50% snaps. Let me double check this.
Yeah, I got you. I got it pulled up right here. Yeah, okay. 49%. 49% of snaps, 38.
But that's okay in that sense because he's rarely going to be on. He did set a season high in targets with 3, but he's rarely going to be used in that role. So you're going to see
high routes run last week is what's really most notable to me without Burkhead. Obviously, like if we're getting Michel involved in the passing game here, that is really big for his floor. Obviously, he already has like the goal line in terms of like inside the 5 lockdown. They'll bring James White in for passing plays occasionally inside the 10, but if you're inside the 5 and they're going to run the ball, it's going to be Michel in there. So.
Yep. And this is a good matchup,
role, especially in this game where I'm expecting the New England line to pretty well dominate the Giants for the most part.
This is a good spot for him as well. Dalvin Cook had a good game versus him last week. They've been tagged for over 5 yards per carry over the last 4 weeks. Just a real good spot for this run game. Sonny Michel is probably a guy that's just going to be in everyone's lineup, and as he should be. The game script is perfect for him, and if Burkhead's out, then the role is perfect for him as well.
I will really be interested in possibly pivoting to White over Michel, which I'm not saying I won't play White. Otherwise, he could definitely end up in my cash lineup. It's funny that you can literally just go down this Patriots list and every one of them is a good play. James White is a good play. But I'd be more interested in White if Burkhead is in, and that's just because Michel's snap role, well, mostly his passing game role is going to be pretty much nothing, and James White will still have that role. So if Burkhead is ruled in and we hear he's going to play, we're not sure, of course, what his role is going to be because we're not going to hear that from Belichick. It's not going to happen. But I would have more interest in James White. But even despite that, what do you think about James White if Burkhead is out and we have Michel in a White backfield?
Yeah, I love James White if Burkhead's out. Burkhead was out last week. James White got a season high in touches. He's the guy I talked about in Addy's action for that reason with Burkhead out. He didn't have one of those monster scores that you need as far as, especially last week. I mean, like 13 points isn't going to cut it, but he was 5K, and so that is over 2.5x.
Hey man, 13 from James White at 5K better than whatever we got from David Johnson. What was it, like 18 or something?
It wasn't. It wasn't
7.5K. So
yeah. I mean,
so.
yeah. But I mean, look, like he's like just what I talked about. If they're going to use the pass game as an extension of the run game, James White is going to be the primary beneficiary of that, even over a guy like Julian Edelman. They're just going to be throwing these little short out routes to James White, short little check downs to James White. We saw him get 9 targets. He set a season high in carries, which is obviously big for a guy like him with Rex Burkhead out. 6 carries, not a lot, but it's still it's still almost his past 3 weeks combined. I mean, I think past 3 weeks combined was 7, so he's got 6 that week. It's pretty good. 9 targets, obviously. I mean, in PPR, which is what DraftKings is, he makes a lot of sense. I think if there's any slate, I think last showdown, the San Francisco one, the sharp play was double running back defense. I think the chalk play here is going to be double running back defense. I think you're going to see a lot of people with Michel White and the Patriots defense because that's the most obvious game script for success for those two backs. I think that's going to be real popular, and I think rightfully so as well.
But one reason why that might not be so chalky is because of the Patriots defense right next to James White, who I think is going to be extremely chalky. I think, look, dude, look at this. Look at this fantasy points per game right here.
James White or Patriots defense?
Patriots defense. Look at this fantasy points per game that people are going to see when they log on and make their $10 lineup to win $400K.
Yeah.
They're going to see Patriots defense. They're going to see that the Giants – and it's a good play. Like, it's a good play. Sure. The Patriots lead the league in sack. They're top 3 in quarterback hits. Like, the Giants' offensive line is playing with a banged-up left tackle who hasn't been good, Nate Solder, in general. I mean, it's every matchup on the field especially because Evan Ingram, because Sterling Shepard, which wouldn't have been a good matchup anyway, but because Sterling Shepard is out, is going to be brutal for the Giants moving the ball, which, of course, we're seeing this has got to be one of the lowest totals on a team that we've seen in a long time. I would like to hear that because we've been making videos for a year now, and we've looked at team totals before that, and I do not remember anything like this. If there was a spot to play a defense, it is obviously right here. This is clearly the spot to play a defense. They are priced up, but I mean, the Patriots defense has allowed 8, 10, and 7 points and a field goal to Pittsburgh in the season opener. I mean, that's the thing about the Patriots this year, and we're getting more out to a general football perspective, but there is no chance the Chiefs could beat a team like this, in my opinion, because the Patriots can establish the run. And then all they got to do is make a few stops. And, I mean, there's just no chance. The Chiefs don't have a chance against a team like this. This is the best defense the Patriots have had in, years. I mean, maybe the best that they've ever had. I mean, they have 2 of the top 5 corners in football, right? I mean – Yeah,
you can make that case. Yeah. You can make that case for sure. I mean, no, yeah, it's the best. I mean, the Patriots, the Super Bowl for 2020 or 2019 and then 2020 is going to be the Patriots. 2021 will, could probably still be the Patriots, but we'll see come then. But for now, we'll just gamble on our sports and not really care about who wins the Super Bowl because it'll be the Patriots. It's going to be the Patriots for the next, foreseeable future unless some fluke shit happens.
Right.
But, it's their league right now. They're just head and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to get sacks. They're going to get probably a turnover or 2 at the least, especially in a wet, windy game.
Yeah.
That they're going to get pressure on Daniel Jones. Definitely a cash play. Definitely an interesting an interesting captain. I'll say it. Like, I think they're an interesting captain. The problem with captaining, the problem in my head with captaining them is that is that I don't think you need the salary because those two giants are so cheap. Like,
Yeah.
still you could do it, but I'd rather captain like even Sonny Michel than go with Patriots,
Yeah.
just because of the upside and everything. It just makes the
Yeah.
most sense that way. So, yeah, my mic just switched because I just realized I unplugged it. That's why.
Got it. It definitely sounds better now. A
It's
little bit better. It sounded fine.
I don't know how it got unplugged, but anyway, yeah. So Patriots defense, Philip Dorsett is out. We can skip the backup quarterbacks. Like we said about Jacoby Myers, he's priced up to the right price where he's only going to be a GPP play on DraftKings. He'll play 50% of the snaps last week. I built a team on FanDuel that I think everyone will play, and I'm not going to share it. Here's like the build. I mean, not the build. Here's the site. But we have not Lattimore. We have Jacoby Myers down here at 5.5K. That's definitely more interesting than where he's priced on DraftKings. Just wanted to point that out. If you do need a salary saver on DraftKings, rather than going to Lattimore, I'm definitely more open to going with Jacoby Myers, who was a really, really talented guy in college. And I actually really liked him coming to the season, but he hasn't really found a true role with this team yet. But with Dorsett out, he should be able to find some sort of role here. So just wanted to mention that price on FanDuel. Okay, keep moving down. Mike Nugent is a kicker, and you can play him, but it's also going to be windy and rainy, and the Patriots should score at will. I mean, it's fine. You can play him. Like, he's a fine cash play. He's going to be on the sheet as a cash play. Like, I'm just going to tell you that. Okay, there's only pretty much two other guys I want to talk about. One is the tight end, Matt Lacoste, and I didn't know where his snaps were last week. Yeah, that's the most notable thing about Matt Lacoste right there. We saw him playing 94% of the snaps last week. I believe he also ran a season high in routes last week as well. He got 4 targets, only had 22 yards. He is a former Denver Bronco. This picture just reminded me. So, Adi, do you have a take on Matt Lacoste at 1.8K? Kind of seems like a spot where, again, I don't think you're going to have to do this, but it's just as good of a matchup as anywhere else for the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe you can luck box a touchdown, but I probably won't be going there. Honestly, a guy I'd rather go with is someone like Brandon Bolden if Rex Burkhead is out at that same price range.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just rather take a shot on some random running back. Yeah, Jacob Johnson. I want to talk about him.
I don't know anything about Jacob Johnson. I just saw that snap share as I clicked on Football Guys. I had no idea that he played that many snaps last week.
It's he's their fullback, and it's actually really interesting.
He's playing for Pat Devlin, who's out. Yeah, okay.
For James Devlin. Yeah, it's like it's actually real interesting. It's almost more interesting for Sonny Michel that the Patriots upped their fullback usage to 42% last week. That's really important in regards to Sonny Michel because after James Devlin got hurt, the next 2 games, Sonny Michel's snap rate was 22% and 33%. Those are the 2 games that Devlin was inactive. So they love using their fullback in the run game, as many good teams do. I mean, you saw Booger McFarland go on and on about it with Kyle Juszczyk in that San Francisco game, how vital fullbacks can be to the run game. And they finally showed that they do trust this young kid, Jacob Johnson. I mean, he played 42% of snaps. He got 2 targets. He's 400. If this is the guy that gets in the end zone for cheap, he could outscore, if you're going Rhett Ellison, hey, man, why not Jacob Johnson? Like, if you're getting gross like that, literally nobody is going to play him. So, I mean, I'm not recommending it by any means, but, him or Rhett Ellison, they could both get 2 targets this week. So, you never really know.
That's crazy. Bolden played 14% of the snaps and got 6 touches. So he just touched the ball every time he was on the field, basically, or what? Just about, right?
Yeah. I mean, Bolden makes sense. I mean, Bolden makes a lot of sense, especially if you think that the Patriots get up like 40-0 in this game. They're probably not going to be running Sonny Michel out there that much. They'll use guys like, we saw Raheem Mostert get carries in the 4th quarter versus Cleveland, and that's a very similar situation.
It also doesn't seem crazy for them to potentially bring in Bolden on the goal line over Michel. It doesn't seem crazy.
No, yeah, it doesn't. Nothing seems
like something they could do.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem crazy. It could happen. I mean, it probably won't, obviously, because we're going probabilities here, but it could happen. Certainly, yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, that pretty much wraps it up for the Patriots. I mean, we've talked about pretty much every guy, but truly scrolling down every.
We haven't talked about these backup players. They could come in the 4th quarter You know, play a backup quarterback, play Tom Brady and his
Jarrett
backup,
Stidham.
whoever it is.
I think he threw one pass, or he's thrown 4 passes. And he threw a pick already. So
Hey man, Patriot. That's the take this week. Play the Patriots.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be this is the most interesting showdown in quite some time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting
gonna be a
for
lot
all
of
the
fun.
wrong reasons, though. Honestly, man. Like,
Here's what I'm most excited about this game, just to see Bill Belichick just mastermind it. Like there's been no Patriots Island game yet. This is the first one, and
yeah.
with the team this talented, I am so excited to just sit down and watch Bill Belichick just go to work. Like you were just talking about with the blocking scheme with the fullback and how it sucks that he's playing such a bad such a bad offense, because Belichick is really a
He won't
master
have to do
of
too much,
defense.
yeah.
The Rams didn't do anything on offense in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. How do he had 2 weeks, and you give Bill Belichick 2 weeks, he's gonna stop anyone. Like
Yeah, for real.
So yeah, I'm super excited to see that, even though it is going to be a pretty easy matchup, pretty much one of the easiest you can get in the NFL right now, especially with how banged up they are. No Saquon, but
Yeah.
okay, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to tout it again. LocksDFS.com. Check us out. This All Sports Pass. You can try us out for a trial. Why can I not find it on here? There is a.
I think we moved it. Remember, we moved it off the.
No. It's still.
We didn't?
No, I didn't. Never moved it. I don't know. It's on there. It's on there.
Y'all can find it. Like,
it's on there. All right. LocksDFS.com.
Yeah.
Season pass is $99. All Sports Pass, 3 Sports Pass. NBA preseason gonna be on there. College football gonna be on there. Crushing those sports. Excited for them every single slate I play. So LocksDFS.com. Check us out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. That helps us out a lot. And leave a comment with it could be anything. You can compliment Adi's hat. You could compliment my
haircut.
voice. You could also
you get a lot of mentions on your voice.
Last time I got a mention about my voice because I didn't have my mic, and it was like it wasn't as good. And I was like, I'm sorry, like my mic. Yeah. So or just leave your favorite play. You could even say, I think Tom Brady's a pretty good play on this slate. That works too. So
any comment works.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady is a pretty good play. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys for also, if you're at the end of this video, we are thinking about doing Sunday night and Monday night videos. So if you are here at the end and would like to see those and you enjoy these videos, let us know. Give us some encouragement, because me and Adi have kind of been on the fence all year about doing them, whether we should just provide the sheets. So if you made it all the way to the end, let us know that you'd like to see those videos, and we'll do them. So if we get like a decent amount of comments about them, we'll do them. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sure this has been pretty long now that I've talked about all this stuff. Check us out, LocksDFS.com. See you guys next time for the breakdowns, all your football content, whatever. See you then. Peace.